A fight for first. The Morehead City Fish Tacos host the Peninsula Pilots for the sole possession of first place in the East Division. Lance Williams here alongside Trey Keenis, Christian Doms. The Fish Tacos are facing the Pilots. Trey, it's a red-hot Fish Tacos team. They've won their last 7 games, and they're facing this Pilots team for the second time this season. How can they build upon that momentum from these last few games into tonight?
Yeah, this is a far different team we've seen from their last time they met up, which was back in the month of May on the 31st. But I've seen out of this group from the last, we'll call it 6 games out of their 7-game winning streak, it's been a lot of offense. This team just hits you in waves. Coming in last Saturday's matchup against Holly Springs, they're averaging over 10 runs per game through that 6-game winning streak. But it's kind of a shifting of tides when you go to that game Saturday night. It was really a old school Morehead City win, or rather Crystal Coast at that point, beating the Booty Divers. Incredible pitching. You went 3 pitchers, starting out things off with Bergman, then you go with Bertram, then you go with Thompson, who is pitcher of the week because of that. This team really has shown that they can win in different ways, and I think that's a sign of not just a good team, but a premier team in this league, when you've been able to get it done on both sides. And I'm interested to see tonight with how the offense struggled the first time around against this Pilots pitching staff that has been stout since then, how they respond to that and how they're looking to build off that, because you got a guy tonight on the mound for Morehead City, which we'll touch on later, Ian Korn, who's been away from the team for the last 3 weeks, looking to be hungry and get back things going tonight.
Morehead City, a well-rounded approach to these last 7 games, and it's worked out for them. One such player who's been a big part of the team, Brody Popple, 8 games played, he's hitting .286. We got to talk to the catcher earlier today. Here with Morehead City catcher Brody Popple. Brody, through 8 games, you're hitting .286. How's the summer in Morehead City been?
It's been good. You know, I've been doing a lot of traveling here and back, but it feels good to be playing games.
You hit a 3-run homer on Sunday, granted an exhibition game, but how did it feel knocking one out?
Felt good. Hopefully got me going on the right track. You know, got a big game tonight, and hopefully can keep swinging it.
Big game against Peninsula. Making the jump from aluminum bats this past spring to wood bats. How's it been as a catcher behind the dish?
It's always cool to see the difference in averages almost and how hard people hit it, because really good hitters keep hitting it hard, and you can't get away with as much as a wood bat. So I've seen that for 4 straight summers now, so it's always fun to see that.
All right, Brody. Thank you, and I appreciate the time.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Florida A&M catcher having a great season thus far. Christian, we mentioned the second meeting between these two teams, May 31st. The Pilots won 5-1. That was a long time ago, but still, this Pilots team, very good. What stands out about them?
Yeah, and you mentioned how good that Pilots team was the last time Morehead City made the trip over to Peninsula, but it's been kind of different since then. The Pilots, that was in the midst of their 8-game winning streak to open the CPL season. Since then, they've gone 4-7, which isn't terrible, but also isn't great either. And the one thing that's really been noticeable from the Pilots in the last few games is the offense. It really has gotten a jump start. Each of the last 2 games, the Pilots have scored 12 runs. That's the first time that Peninsula has done that all season, but 2 very different results. A walk-off loss against Greenville on Saturday, or rather Sunday, and then a blowout win against the Wilmington Sharks 12-0 in 7 innings just yesterday. And really the standout piece in this Pilots lineup, it has to be Carlos Pena, batting .400, more than 20 RBIs, more than 5 home runs, the only player in the CPL who is achieving those numbers this year. If Ian Korn is going to have a good day on the mound, Pena might be the biggest obstacle he's got to go through.
Carlos Pena, the CPL home run leader, the only player in this league with double-digit home runs. Christian, he mentioned 8 straight wins to start off the season for the Pilots. And so if the Fish Tacos can win tonight, they'll tie that for the longest active winning streak, or the longest winning streak this season. Trey, back to Ian Korn, the righty. He's committed to West Virginia. We've only seen him once, but what do you expect from him tonight?
I think you expect excellence, right? Because that's all we've seen from him. And even going back to this past season where he was with the Seton Hill Griffins of the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, this guy dominated. He was a Division II Pitcher of the Year and then picked up right where he left off in his first outing 3 weeks ago to this day against Holly Springs. Went 4 innings, 1 earned with 4 strikeouts. I think for him, it's really just about honing in on that 5-pitch arsenal. Talk about that fastball that sits in the low to mid 90s. He loves to complement it with the slider, but I think arguably his best pitch might be that 2-seam cutter that he really gets a ton of movement on, just flies across the zone and has batters guessing throughout the course of the game. I think for him, again, you go back to just the 5-pitch arsenal, sequencing pitches, staying calm, staying confident. As Christian mentioned earlier, Carlos Pena is going to be a big bat, but he's also got a couple guys coming back this year as well. They were Coastal Plain League All-Stars too that have had a huge impact for this group this season. So I think for him, it's really just about mastering his sequence, understanding that he knows what he has to do to go out there and execute. It's going to be a great game tonight. Two highly powered teams. First place on the line doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, it should be exciting. Ian Korn, just one start Tuesday earlier in the month. He's since committed to West Virginia, so he said there has been some weight lifted off of his shoulders with that big decision, but he'll be facing a very tough Peninsula Pilots order. First pitch at 6:30 on Flow Sports. You can listen to these two.